Let me ask you something first. If the dollar is still everywhere, if banks are still open, and if markets haven't collapsed, how can anyone say the fiat system is falling? That's where most people misunderstand what's happening, because the fall of fiat doesn't look like a crisis, it looks like nothing, and that's exactly why it works. And here's why you should care. This isn't about panic or being anti-America, it's about structure, control, choice. Ask yourself this: can a system built on endless debt and unlimited money printing really last forever? Or was it always meant to unwind, just not all at once? For decades, the dollar wasn't just a currency, it was infrastructure, oil priced in dollars, trade settled in dollars, reserves held in dollars. If you wanted to participate in global commerce, you needed dollars. That wasn't a free choice, it was engineered into the system. Now think about this. If every country is forced to hold dollars, who absorbs the inflation? Not just the United States, the entire world. Artificial demand for US debt. Inflation exported globally, central banks trapped in dependency. It looked stable, only because nobody was allowed to leave. Here's the irony. The dollar's dominance became the weakest point of the fiat system. Fiat money has no intrinsic value. It survives on confidence, enforcement, and debt. And when the dollar was weaponized through sanctions, asset seizures, and financial exclusion, something broke. A so-called neutral reserve asset cannot survive once it becomes political. Did countries revolt? Did they dump the dollar overnight? No. That would have collapsed everything. Instead, something smarter happened. Not replacement, competition. And that difference matters more than most people realize. The strategy was simple but precise. No sudden abandonment of the dollar, no new fiat currency to replace it, no shock to everyday economies. Instead, quiet competition was introduced inside the central bank system itself. The system is shrinking naturally, not exploding. And this is the question everyone asks: why gold? Not because of nostalgia, not because of tradition, but because of properties fiat can't replicate. No counterparty risk, no political allegiance, no default risk, no printing. And here's the key insight. Gold doesn't compete only with the dollar. It competes with all fiat currencies at the same time. Ignore commentators for a moment and watch behavior. Central banks now hold more gold than US Treasuries. The last time that happened was the 1990s. Ask yourself this: do central banks make trillion-dollar decisions by accident? Or do they see structural shifts long before the public does? They're buying gold regardless of price. More purchases are expected. That's not speculation, that's preparation. Gold isn't replacing the dollar with another fiat currency. It's replacing fiat itself, quietly, gradually, deliberately. People hear de-dollarization and think collapse. That's wrong. The dollar is losing forced dominance without triggering panic. That's not failure. That's design. We're told that if the dollar falls, everything falls. But the world was forced to treat the dollar as a safe haven. Gold earned that role naturally. This shift restores choice, not chaos. The United States remains economically and militarily dominant. Reducing pressure on the dollar system actually increases stability. That's why this transition is happening calmly. As Prof has said many times, reform is a process, not a one-day event. Gold doesn't attack fiat systems. It exposes them. Fiat loses purchasing power. Fiat expands exponentially. Gold doesn't. Gold doesn't destroy the system through force. It makes it irrelevant. Read that again. What's changing isn't new currencies, it's new rails. Better settlement, more sovereignty, less dependency. That's how systems evolve without breaking people's lives. So when someone says nothing is happening, remember this: the biggest shifts don't make noise. They show up in balance sheets, behavior, and structure, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. We inform, you choose. This library does not offer false hope or sensational claims. The information shared is based on observable structure and reality.